cool as ever. She's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chat is stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth.
One day closer
She's trying to hide it.
to the big guy being back in the 414.
3 days? All right, just for that, I just want to let you guys know something. Josh is turned softer than soft. I had a great topic I wanted to talk about that involves the Blammer. It would probably be a 2-segmenter, and he ixnayed it. So we can move on.
The topic centers on self-coitus.
Coitus? What is that? Coin flip?
So I think I made the right decision.
I think so as well. Yep.
No. Don't jump the gun. We'll talk about it during break or when we go on Sirius Radio.
All right. Yeah, you know what, Chewy? I'll tell you what. The first day we're on Sirius XM, that'll be our first topic.
This would have got so
That's
much
the deal.
traction, too.
Oh my
That's the deal that I am going to make with you.
Do you think that
Blammer.
folks back in Florida are excited about you coming to Wisconsin? Or do you think they're going to miss you down there?
Well, I'm going to say this. And it's kind of weird because I'm a big fan of it. There's too much drama down here right now.
Really?
And me and Angie are always smack dab in the middle of it.
See, that's the problem. You love drama.
I don't think I like the middle game.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You like being on the periphery of the drama. You enjoy watching the drama. Being in the drama is a completely different situation for you.
So we have a friend group. It probably goes, there's circles. I always talk about the circles. But it probably goes 6, 8, 10 deep. We got this couple not getting along with this one. We have another one not getting along with this one. So I think everyone just kind of needs a timeout.
Wait, but are you getting along with all of the couples?
All
and
of them.
now all of the couples
And
are coming to you guys and complaining about the other couples they don't like?
We are the glue.
Yeah.
We are the glue.
It's tough.
We're the glue because we like to entertain at our house here, and we don't want to exclude anyone. We want everyone here, but the problem is this one with this one and this one with this one. It's kind of fun, but it's a little exhausting. I think we need halftime is what we need. Do you guys have that back there?
Yeah.
I mean, you do?
With my spouse.
You guys
need
have halftime?
We need a 30, maybe a full. Yeah, I mean, you take a little, you're just like, hey, you go over there, I'll go over here, we'll reconvene at a later date or hour.
But
and then it seems to work out.
Jen, you got to get it from high school because when our kids were in high school, same thing. Why is that kid playing? My kid's better than him. Oh, they just put him there because his son's, his dad's the coach here and that. Do you get that? Or were we the only ones?
Like you, my friend, I prefer to stay on the periphery of those conversations.
Okay. I mean, I like to stoke it. What's the thing that you poke the fire with?
A poker, fire poker.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better name
that
for
you
it.
poke the fire with. Turns out
It's got the little hook and the sharp point. Yeah, it's just the poker, I think.
No.
I don't know if there's a more specific.
There's got to be an
for it.
English name to it because everything came from England.
Like an old English name?
Yeah.
I like how you ended up talking about pokers and Joshy nixed that other conversation earlier this morning. Good job, Chew.
It was good, though.
Did you find
guys
another
were really
name,
like-
Joshy?
Fire poker seems to be the actual name. You can buy them at Walmart,
Yep.
Lowe's, Home Depot,
Tracks.
and they all say fire poker.
All right, so
What
Chew,
is it in Latin?
what the?
I'm looking for a nickname.
Fire poker in Latin?
So you're saying you're going to be the fire poker. You want to be
Yes.
because you like to poke, but you don't like
Yeah.
to be in the flames.
Yeah.
He likes to stoke the flames a little bit.
Oh, stoker. I'm a joker. I'm a smoker.
That's a stroker.
That's something
Which
different.
brings us back to the start of the conversation here.
Nope.
See, subconsciously you want to do it.
Yeah, but also, I like my job. And if I came home today and went, honey, I lost my job. Why? Well, because Chewy wanted to talk about this.
Inni spoka.
That would be tough.
Oh,
Excuse
what was
me?
that?
Inni spoka.
Inya spoka.
Inni spoka.
Inya spoka, Chew.
That is fire poker in Latin.
Is that Will?
No, that's
That's
the
the internet.
Inni
computer.
spoka.
That's Google. Yeah.
What? Google will talk to you?
What the?
Yeah, for
Google
hard
will
pronounced
talk
Once
to you.
again, reminding us just how little he knows of the internet.
I had no idea. I thought that was Will, producer
We
Will.
got a story coming up a little later in the show about AI. And did you see what KBN did with AI yesterday?
I was so mad at them.
You were mad at them for this?
Yeah. So the "Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust" was funny. They took Ben's voice, made him ask himself his own questions on "Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust," and then they started seeing, well, could AI take our job? And what does it know about Brad Nortman? And they were amazed that AI is able to Google search and then aggregate things. Like Brad was amazed that AI knew his takes, and I said, Brad, we tweet them out constantly. They are all over the internet. So all it's doing is combing the internet. It's like
So smart, though.
It's like
so smart of him to now know or recognize the depths of AI's capability.
I don't think it's any more impressive than just any research. It's Google.
Gabe, what's your Seinfeld level of concern of AI right now?
Oh, like I'm freaking out. Like, yeah, I
You
mean, but before I'm pretty convinced there's a 75% chance that the robots take me out. Yeah, like I'm not going to die of natural causes. The robot revolution is going to
You
take me
think
out.
so? I mean, living the real Terminator would kind of be cool.
Not even a little.
No, nope.
Come on.
I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good.
Nope. Do you
Really?
think right now there are robots living among us?
No.
What do you mean, no? Think about it for a
Like
second.
Westworld?
Yeah. Like I walked by a robot yesterday and I just didn't know it.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Like a robot was the supervisor taking
See,
deep thought.
Seems
out of
like
Lake
you
Michigan?
understand the back end of the ignorance part of it, Joshy.
What about,
Yeah,
hold
no,
on.
I don't believe that because even the ones, remember where Elon Musk had that robot? Oh, it just turns out those were manned by low-paid people in foreign countries. So there is no automated machine that's sentient in
Wait
the
a
way
minute.
that
I didn't
people
say
believe.
that someone can't be manning it from a remote location. I'm just saying, do you
Well,
think
then
you would
it's
know now if
Yes.
you walked past a robot?
Yes.
No, not humans, but animals, I bet they do. Because they cloned sheep somewhere, right?
That's
Didn't
not
they
a
clone
robot.
sheep?
That's a clone.
No, but they cloned it to look like a sheep, and then they put their AI in it,
to
and
look
then
like a
Yee.
Is it a robot sheep? I'm unclear.
I don't know how many sci-fi channels you have on your streaming service, Chew, but I think it's time you just go back to Seinfeld.
You guys don't
All right,
know
you're
science
watching
like
too
I
much.
know science.
You know science fiction is what you know.
I do know that very well.
Chewy, do you have to go to the gym today? Do you go to the gym every day?
Yeah.
Today?
5 days a week.
Will you
5
go
days
to
a
the
week,
gym
yeah.
today?
Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
You want to hear the story? All right, so
You picked
we
up
talked
on that,
about it
did ya?
Yesterday, yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Why were we talking about it? Oh, I forgot his name. So then, I guess I kind of took a shot at his body. I mean, he's the nicest guy in the world, and I say that because he may be listening, based upon our conversation yesterday. So I said, and it came from my one son, Nolan, who worked out. He's like, that dude has the biggest shoulders and the smallest biceps.
Immediately
You know,
blaming
Popeye's
someone else.
forearms were like.
No, that's smart. That's smart.
Immediately.
That's smart. That's smart
So
strategy.
I go
here.
into the gym. I go into the
Guys, you know
gym.
Nolan?
I go into the gym, and this was the same day, yesterday. And he goes, hey, when are you going back to Wisconsin? But he's always dropping the, who'd you play for again and stuff. So I didn't think there's a God's chance in green earth. Did I say that right?
Nope. Keep going.
Who cares? Yeah, that came out weird.
The God's chance in green earth.
So that's why I said what I said yesterday. So then he comes up, he goes, hey, when are you going back? He plays like I had no idea. And he goes, oh, I thought you were going to come back in October because I would have forgot your name. And I'm like, oh.
It's good pop. It's good
Oh,
pop.
Kaka. He listened. I'm like, and I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, subconsciously, I'm like, you just need to shut your mouth sometimes on the radio. You vomit too much and volunteer too much.
Wait, this
so
is
I
you.
will
I
see
just want to
him
be
again.
clear. I want to be clear. That is you talking to you there.
Yes.
Little self.
So
little
how
self-talk,
should I approach him today to get confirmation?
Well, I mean, the perfect line yesterday would have been, "Thanks for listening."
Correct.
Because there are closet listeners. I have guys that, like, they're too proud to listen. You know, like, what station you on again? And then they'll drop, like, I love you singers hot dogs. I'm like, you listen. Just say you listen. We don't get paid any more if you listen. Just admit you listen. It's fine. It's kind of funny.
Do you guys have that experience? Because I do, where people will drop things. I'm like, well, I've never said that anywhere other than the radio, so you wouldn't know that.
I mean,
Gabe, your contention is I said, thanks for listening, but then do I apologize?
No.
I mean, I don't think you have anything to be sorry for. You were just, assessing, the man's body, and that's what it looks like to you. And, you were using whatever his body type was for the mnemonic device in order to remember his name.
Gabe, acutely aware of Chewy coming back to Wisconsin next week.
Yeah.
What does Chewy have to apologize for?
You know what? That's a good
telling
point
the
because
truth?
I don't know if I ever brought that up in conversation. So that might have been another clue.
I mean, never apologize for telling the truth, Chewy.
He's a nice guy. Really nice guy. Really, really nice guy.
I don't understand. What's with the closet listeners? What's with that? What's with people not wanting to admit that they listen to the show?
It's men that happen. I think there's some sort of pride.
Yeah, they're too proud.
Yeah. Because I'll have people who tell me things like, oh, I hear it on occasion. And then they have like hyper specific and really detailed memories of things that occurred on the radio. And I'm like, well, so if you're listening on occasion, I don't know if you would have this much Jen, Gabe, and Chewy lore.
So are these like friends of yours? 'Cause I guess, like,
they're not like close friends because close friends will just tell me they
Same
listen
thing.
every day.
I get the same.
They'll text me and, we say something funny, I'll get a reaction via text message. It's sort of the not quite acquaintances, but friends like, that
friends
older.
of friends
Yes.
that you run into 2, 3, 4 times
fairly
a year.
frequently.
You think they're afraid it's going to inflate your ego or something?
100%.
I
Really?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a party. Join the party.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Right?
Anytime someone tells me they listen to the show, I go, I'm so sorry.
I say thank you.
So are you? I tend to say thank you as well. Are people just evaluating Joshy and Chewy as two guys who already have big egos and they don't want to feed the ego more?
This is
'Cause
interesting.
I've never had this interaction
Yeah, I
where
don't know.
someone's just like tiptoeing around that. This is somebody on the radio.
The only thing I hear about Gabe is they think he would look much different than he is.
Yes,
That's what I hear about Gabe.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get that a lot, and especially now.
And then, Jen, they say, she's naughty. She's naughty. She's really, really naughty.
Do all your friends have no teeth? Is that what's happening over there?
He does live in Florida.
Easy, Horicon. Easy, Horicon. I know how many dentists are in Horicon. I've Googled that before.
I'm just saying you live amongst the olds, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's another reason I got to leave because my blood pressure is just like boiling. The way they drive, the way they move, the way they act.
I think there's something that Chewy and I both have that it's if we had something over you, we could use it against you in a way to humor ourselves that people don't want that leg up.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could see that,
So-
especially for you. Yes,
right,
I could
yes.
see that. Yes.
Do you think people in our circles are concerned about us using their content on the radio?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, if
Yes.
they listen to the show, they should be.
Yes.
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 Yes. As you remember, it caused a huge fight down here. One to which I still have not recovered.
Really?
Remember I told the people that you're not invited to the party and they
Yeah.
showed up anyways?
Okay, but they had listened to the show and they had heard that they weren't invited?
No, friends have listened to the show and a lot of
spies.
spies. Thank you, Gabe. A lot of spies. But it's good. I love it. I love it. Just
I
need
love
a
this
break.
closet listeners concept. Hunter weighing in on the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776. He says, closet listeners think they're too highbrow, too good to admit they listen to your show.
Yes, I agree with that 100. But there's also that part of it.
So there's the ego involved of like inflating our egos of like, oh yeah, we listen to the show. And also we're too highbrow, too good to admit that we that they hang out with us in the morning.
Yeah. Well, we are too lowbrow. They are too highbrow is what they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't confused about that.
It sounded the other way, and I said, I don't know if that's the case.
Again, why do you think I apologize to people when they tell me they listen? I'm like, yeah, hopefully you were entertained this morning. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We got a ton of stuff to get to this morning. You know what? I got to pull up my list. I don't have my list in front of me, but we got a lot of stuff to get to this morning. Where is that list? See what I mean? This is why I apologize for the top-notch radio that we do here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Okay, we got the boat finally gone. They got the boat out yesterday, and just like Chewy anticipated, it only took
12 hours.
12 hours to get the boat out of Bradford Beach. Also, the Packers, they are a primetime team. We're going to talk about that. George Pickens is on the move, and AI. Scary stuff happening in the AI space, in the sports space. We'll talk about all of that and more coming up as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on.
Hot savings on your Screamin' Sicilian favorites, just $4.99 at Festival Foods, May 7th through the 13th. So it starts today, runs through next week, where you can get Screamin' Sicilian original buttery stone fire crust, thin and crispy, or tavern style for just $4.99 each. I know I'm going to be swinging by Festival Foods. I'm going to have to stock up because my freezer right now, it's empty from Screamin' Sicilian, which makes me a little bit sad. It's nice to have that little comfort of, hey, I'm running a little late. I'm not going to have time to make dinner. Still want something that tastes great. And now you have these great options right now at Festival Foods. Original Screamin' Sicilian, thin and crispy or tavern style, just $4.99 right now at Festival Foods. You should stock up as well. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screaming is about.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 41, still going to be a heavy ride from before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol. Northbound slowing down from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Capitol Drive. And southbound 43 looking good. No major problems from Brown Deer Road all the way to the Marquette. Northbound's a little heavy, though, from the Marquette up to Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, cooler, a high of 54 at the lake, 65 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, with a low of 42. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at 90s 2K Cafe Milwaukee, Champs Lake Geneva, McGillicuddy's Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Wind Lake, and Magoo's on the Mound Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm right-handed, but like
I'm with Gabe here. Yeah, I feel more confident in my left hand here, just cupping right now, other than my other hand cupping.
Mostly because I also.
I get a lot more work on the right hand.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, little lady, I know you're feeling crazy. All your other friends are busy making them babies. Been out in the real world, don't like how it's tasting. Let me change your mind with my little old saying. 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? Put some sugar in my water, cause we making minutes.
So big news, I don't know, over the last year or so, was that NBC had reacquired rights to the NBA, which meant that NBC, which for a very long time carried NBA rights and a lot of the games, people have a lot of memories watching these games on NBA on NBC. Mostly because they remember Round Ball Rock, right? That was like the people's memory when they first announced that this was happening. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Round Ball Rock is coming back." Give me a little sample of the Round Ball Rock, Gabe. Chewy, you got it?
Gabe, why is your mustache coming in quicker than your beard? That's kind of weird. Jen, am I right though?
They have a little bit more update. I have no idea, Chew. Like if I had a legitimate answer to that, I don't know. It's just
okay.
Well, because when I used to have,
oh my gosh, what are you doing?
When it was more stubbly instead of a longer beard, like the goatee Chewy was like so much darker than the like cheeks of the beard. So I don't know. The mustache just is a little bit stronger and grows a little bit faster.
Okay.
If you're wondering if I sprinkled some miracle,
little housekeeping. Back to Jen.
Sprinkled some Miracle Grow on the mustache. No, I did not do that.
Thanks for clarifying, clearing that up. I'm sure there were a lot of people out there curious. Chewy just says whatever pops into his head, by the way. He's like, did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds? Okay, so it says here that they are also going to bring back the iconic voice of Jim Fagan. Jim Fagan was used for all sorts of things back in the day when NBC had the NBA. The problem is, guys, this gentleman died in 2017, so you know what they're doing, right? AI. Just like on KBN yesterday, using Ben Brust's voice to question or ask the questions, they are going to use AI to bring back Jim Fagan's voice. Go ahead, Joshy.
The NBA on NBC is back. See you this October for the NBA season tip-off.
Again, R.I.P. Jim Fagan.
He's been dead for 8 years.
I don't care. I'd rather have Madden doing the football games, and I'd rather have Keith Jackson doing college football games all day long. All day long, Gabe.
But they died, Chew. They're no
care.
longer
they
with
were
us.
So good.
Yeah,
Keith
they were
Jackson,
so good. And I'm wearing my Uke sweatshirt today. I'd love for Uke to still be doing games, Chew, but like time moves on. Like time marches forward. And the family apparently gave the blessing. So that is, I think, an important part of the story as well.
Are they paying the family?
I'm assuming they are.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So
you know what that does? That increases the likelihood of the blessing.
Yes. I can't imagine that it was a cheap blessing. But like, give somebody else an opportunity for this. Like that's just kind of how Like
it's just because you're too young, Gabe. You're too young. You haven't had who NFL games. Who's your top tier, best ever?
Madden and Summerall.
So why wouldn't you want them to do Packers?
Because time marches on, man.
I don't care.
Because I loved watching Brett Favre growing up. That's just not the way it works.
I don't know. I would rather listen.
I do think it's important to draw the line between voiceover stuff like that is very possible with AI currently. To have Madden and Summerall doing a game with back and forth and realizing what's happening on the field and like that, we are way far away from because conversationally it's not going to work. A broadcast wouldn't sound that way. I like Gabe and somebody has a voice similar to him. Somebody has a voice that would be great in that spot. What's the point other than just trying to tug at our nostalgia?
That's what it is.
And that's it?
Yeah. I think they saw the reaction that people had to Round Ball Rock, right? And people were like, oh my goodness, this is so great. We all love that song. That was iconic. I have childhood memories watching the NBA on NBC and hearing that soundtrack to my youth. And they thought, well, what if we could crank it up a notch? What if we went from level 6 to level 8 by also bringing back a voice of that time period?
But you're not more likely to watch a game because the promo guy, right? Because the voice is telling you to tune in to Celtics Thunder Thursday at 7?
Sounds like a good game.
At least, but I mean, at least give us the option. You know how, for the NCAA final game, you can listen pro this team or pro that team,
sure,
right? They're announcers.
Yes. Hometown, homecast, stuff like that.
So give me the ability, Josh, and I think we're closer than you think when it comes to having it be smooth with Madden and Summerall. Because they'd be able to input all the games they've done and then somehow work it to the game at hand. Give me the option. If you want to listen to Brady and whoever Brady works with, that's fine. But if I want to listen to Madden in Summerall, give me a station where I can do that. I don't see what the harm is. Because my guess is everyone my age would probably listen to Madden and Summerall.
I'm inclined to agree with Chew on this. I think we are closer to it than we think we are. I think that the technology is updating way faster than we can even comprehend. And I do think that if a network thought that they could draw more eyeballs, maybe a audience that has not been tuning in for whatever reason, by tapping into nostalgia, I'll tell you what, guys, they will. They will 1,000,000% try to make that happen if, in fact, they can bring more eyeballs to the table.
It's got to be more cost effective. I don't know how much you would have to pay the families of Madden and Summerall to do that. You're already paying Tom Brady a boatload of dollars to do the game.
I'm glad you mentioned cost effective because that is the number one thing here. It's cheaper. Mm-hmm. It's cheaper to pay this family after the fact and run this through AI. That's just a simple matter of the fact. You need less people recording. You need less people editing.
Which I hate, man.
I hate every piece of this. And I think
why?
I think
why? I don't understand why.
Because Chewy, somebody else is talented enough to do these things. We have a new generation coming up every year, and these jobs are these opportunities are being taken away from other talented people. So you can try to
Gabe. Oh, Celtics fans, you know how Celtics fans would love to listen to Johnny Most do a game today? Not 28-year-olds, but I guarantee 65-year-olds would be like, yes, please.
And I think, the point that you're making, Joshy, is it's the conversation, it's the back and forth that would be compromised. But if you had a singular voice, this is right around the corner, by the way.
I think you guys are way overestimating the potential of that. To have what's happening live with new people and things that there's no static here. So a 37-yard catch for George Pickens where he evades the defender, makes his way around, makes toward middle field, makes somebody miss. You're not going to be able to do that. There is no.
I disagree with you, Josh.
I disagree. You don't
disagree, but you're wrong. I'm sorry.
You don't think Max
again?
That's just not where we are.
But I'm saying we will be sooner than you think. And here's the thing. Hold on, Joshy.
What does it mean?
I watch ESPN and they do the Toy Story game, and they do and all of that is they are scanning the field for the actual action, and then they are putting it into the animation, and that is happening. Pop, 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 pop. We are not that far away. I would say within the next next 10 years where you will be able to have AI announcers, play-by-play announcers, where they are scanning the action and it puts it into the computer and they are kicking out almost real-time reaction to what is happening on the field.
That's totally different than what it is when there are live people on the field committing things. You are running things that's already a computer process where things are being processed on the field and they have static. This isn't static. This is people acting on a field with things changing, things happening. When you have a computer model, you're able to then relay that back and forth. Unless the game is being played computerized and run through, it's not going to work the same.
You know what I'm talking about with the Toy Story animation
fully understand
games, right?
it, and it's very different.
I know, but in all the games, you brought up a 37-yard catch and a couple broken tackles. You don't think Madden and Summerall, with all the games they covered, there wasn't a 37-yard catch with breaking of tackles?
Yes, that exists. What I'm saying is when it's happening in real time, like they're not going to just copy and paste him saying that in the past. They have to have it modeled happening, what's happening there, and him in conversation speaking. Solo, I think it can work.
That's what I was saying.
If it's just Madden, yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because you can input all of the film
that will
of
work.
all of the time of him calling similar plays, or heck, there are going to be times where he will have called the exact same play. Not the player name, but the same play in a game, and they'll be able to just do all of it. I just think it's all happening so quickly. The advancements, the evolution is happening so quickly. I think that Chewy is right. We are, I'll say a decade. We are a decade away from an AI announcer, singular, because to your point, even conversation is going to be that next level of the evolution, but singularly calling what is happening on the field. And that's why I agree with Gabe and Josh on, I don't like this at all. I don't like that they're even dipping their toe in the pool or in the water of using AI to simulate a voice for the sake of nostalgia, Gabe.
Yeah, because again, like you're taking away job opportunities from people that are coming up. Like someone, again, I'm wearing the Uke sweatshirt today, and I wanted to get into radio because I listened to Bob Uecker. And now I'm here, and if this continues to trend in this direction, like anybody that, listens to, Brian Anderson now, who does such a great job on Brewers TV games. Oh, sorry, you're not going to have the opportunity to pursue that because we're just going to use AI instead.
You told me you got into radio because of me.
Why the hell would I have gotten into radio? I watched you play football. Yeah. I grew up watching you play football.
The timeline doesn't work, man. The math ain't math.
Yeah, and if I was 6'5" and your size, yeah, I probably would have been a tight end and wanted to play football because of you, but then 6'1"
we
and
both
not that
started
big.
here around the same time. I called you by the wrong name on air. I still don't think that. Talk about AI. I don't think that guy exists.
What guy?
Okay,
Gabe,
so
you know what I'm talking about.
So famously, when I first moved to Milwaukee, I produced one of I was producing shows, and I produced at the time it was the football show on Sundays with Chewy and Craig.
Yeah.
My last show, after doing it for 6 months, I'm sitting where Joshy is. Chewy's back is to me, and he makes a point and does the thing where he goes right, but he goes right, Zach. And Craig and I look at each other like, who the hell is Zach? He thought I was Zach Heilprin.
Which I've never met.
A former teammate in Beaver Dam now does a good job at a Madison radio station. Yes.
Back to the AI thing. We're at a crossroads here, and there's a term that's been invented for this because there's AI music, there's like AI articles and books being written, and it's called the AI slop. It's called that because it's worse than the human-generated process. And if we, as a society, sports fans, watchers, decide we are okay with a worse product because it's John Madden's voice or Bob Uecker's voice, then we are just fueling this. We are losing people jobs, and we are then consuming a worse off product because there is nothing that is going to be able to recreate human spontaneity.
100%.
And human conversational, comedic timing. That kind of stuff is never going to, like, art is art, and you could say what we're doing is art form, lowbrow, or whatever. Me? Bob Uecker, that's an artist.
Wait, we got into art?
Bob Uecker's an artist.
That's what we did here?
And to be honest with you, Joshy, what I think is driving this is two things. One, you have guys like a Vince Scully. You have guys like a Bob Uecker who will always be seen as Mount Rushmore of their craft. And it might take these newer broadcasters a little bit longer, the Brian Andersons, to get to that level of prestige. And what is happening is there's an imperative patience. They don't want to wait for Brian Anderson to get to Bob Uecker status, so they say, we'll just tap into Uecker. I just Googled to see how close we are to AI calling games. While fully replacing human sports announcers is still a few years away, we are seeing the increased use of AI in sports broadcasting. And to your point, slop. ESPN is using AI to generate text recaps of games. This allows for quicker and more efficient production of content and can be used to highlight key moments and analysis. That means that there is no sports writer writing the recap of whatever game you watched last night. Pacers, Cavs. It is, here's what happened, take the box score, and my kid plays for Homestead Baseball, right? As soon as that game goes final, AI has generated a recap. It drops their names in, says how many RBI they had, how many strikeouts they had, blah, 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 and puts it in a... Now, is it as good as if a journalist, a talented reporter wrote it? Not even a little bit. But for a lot of people, it gets the job done. Because they see their kid's name in print, and if you didn't get to the game and you didn't watch the game cast, you at least have a recap sitting there. And again, I don't love it, but I'm saying that's where we are.
I think the gamer's fine, because the gamer is in and of itself sort of a lost thing where, like, if anybody's doing it, they're largely like just writing what happened. There's no real information. Like an article Jason Wilde writes isn't going to be AI-able. That isn't something that's going to happen.
You know what's crazy is my daughter and her roommate are back here from Ohio State because they just finished up last week. In college, they have to run their papers that they write through an AI meter to make sure AI didn't write it, which is crazy.
There's men getting busted for cards to their significant others that are clearly AI'd.
Oh, no.
And the women can realize you don't write nor talk like this. And obviously, you didn't take any time to do, which, like, if you're doing that, what are we doing? What are you saving yourself time on?
Buy the card.
You still have to write it, right?
Right.
Like,
you just
write
the copy.
Yeah, it's just like when you copied the science packet.
That's bad
in high school.
Don't do that.
That's good to know. Thanks, Joshy.
Helping you out a few days before Mother's Day.
Remember, the only one that would maybe remember is Jen. All we had were Cliff Notes. Remember Cliff Notes?
Love Cliff Notes.
Where you go and buy, and that was our form of cheating without reading.
Yeah, and you had to hide the book, right? Because it had that bright, like that ostentatious yellow and black checkered cover.
I
and
never knew those were printed.
You could buy them at a bookstore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could buy them at a bookstore, and you'd rip the cover off immediately because it just told on you, right? It was the brightest, most, like, glaring cover ever, and it was
they
like...
sell those at, like, Barnes & Noble?
Yes!
Oh, okay.
Back
It was like, it looked like police tape. Yeah. It did. It looked like police tape. So good.
I remember I thought I was changing the world when I was able to pull it up on my cell phone in high school, Cliff Notes, because you usually, like, we didn't really have mobile devices at that time. So you basically had to print Cliff Notes off and then bring it with you and keep it, like, in your folder to have that handy.
We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We went way over the clock, but I think a really interesting conversation, and I think a lot of people are going to be coming to grips with as this AI revolution continues to evolve. NBC is using an AI voice for promos of a gentleman who is well known but has passed in 2017.
Quickly, didn't they do this with Costas, NBC, for the Olympics? I think they used AI for his voice, or he did, like, recaps. And it wasn't actually him. And the question at the time was, well, why doesn't he just do it since he's alive?
He seems like somebody who would be anti that as well.
Yeah. I'll have to look that up.
I don't know. I think you get to a certain point and you go, can the AI do it? Fine by me. Do I still get paid? Fine by me. There is no confirmed evidence from official sources that NBC used AI technology to replicate or emulate Costas's voice. But there certainly was conversation about it. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this. Stick around.
Do you want to tell you about our good friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? I'm scheduling for them to come to my house, take a look at my windows, take a look at the doors, see if there's anything that me and my wife can upgrade in our house. But there's no better time to upgrade your windows or doors than right now, because Pella is offering up to 6 years. That's right, 6 years, 0% financing. So set up that free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision, suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality. And trust me, the customizations they have seemingly endless after you go out to their showroom in Brookfield. Then you get 0% financing up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply. Deal ends May 31st, 2025. So visit PellaWI.com today. And when you visit Pella, tell them that Gabe Neitzel sent you.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43 is going to be a bit backed up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing from Hampton all the way to Burleigh. We've got a crash on eastbound 94 right about at 70th Street. It is off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that. A little tight heading past that scene itself, and then again right through the stadium interchange. Northbound on 41 slowing from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, cooler, a high of 54 at the lake, 65 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy with a low of 42. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Island Resort and Casino's Stay and Play golf packages for 2025 are filling up fast. Take advantage of early season package rates through May 23rd. A favorite among golfers, Island's Drift Spa. Enjoy therapeutic or targeted massage, float therapy for deep relaxation, or new red light therapy to enhance muscle recovery. Book your Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play golf package today. Complete details online at islandresortgolf.com.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thanks, Ernie. I'm going to Venmo you that money right after the show.
You can't. You don't know how to use Venmo.
Made my workload much less. But Ernie,
you don't know how to
Ernie,
do it. And I don't know
does
how to
it ever?
it, so
On 94.5 ESPN.
Are you listening? Whoa. Sing it back up.
Tim, the trash man, weighing in saying Joshy is basically saying that the natural emotions will be absent over the course of the game.
I mean, if you listen to Summerall, I don't know if the dude had emotions.
That actually is something that DJ in the Saw wrote to us. They can actually do Summerall with how simple his play-by-play call was. Love, read, touchdown. As for the color analyst, if the AI can do its own Google search, I could easily find and report stuff about Rodgers going down to South America to do ayahuasca or whatever the storyline is. That's interesting. If that's how they programmed the analyst, rather. The analysis and the analyst always gives me a hard time. My brain's like, which is it? Which is it? Oh, you messed up.
And then you shortchange it, and you got a whole wrong word there.
And then Chewy's going to bring up what he wanted to talk about earlier, and it's just a whole...
It's really what I was trying to do there, Chew.
Do you think you could do one live commentator and one AI commentator?
Well, and that's the other thing I was going to tell you, Chew, is like ESPN, and again, this all goes back to cost efficiency, but ESPN caught flack a few years back when they started doing what they call Remy broadcasts, which are where the game is going on location, but the broadcasters are not. And Gabe, you have actually called games Remy style for the Bucks and whatnot, where you are looking at a monitor calling games so that you don't have to fly to wherever the game is taking place. How does that work for you?
I mean, it's a lot different than being in the arena, feeling the emotions of everything that's happening. When I was doing those games for the Bucks, talented engineering team to make it sound like the number of people that I got texts from like, oh man, if I didn't know that you were in Milwaukee, like I would have never been able to tell. So luckily we had some talented people, but it's tough because again, when you're at the game, you feel the emotions of the crowd and the energy in the building. And that's the tough part. That's going to be really hard to replicate, I think, for anyone. Like, you know, and I guess it's a little different from like guys like Madden and Summerall, who, especially Summerall, who was pretty level. But somebody like Gus Johnson, who really gets excited, or Chris Fowler, who gets a little bit more excitable during his calls during college football, I think those are tougher to kind of replicate. You know, okay, here's how now, because this is going to be a big play, the voice inflection gets to this point instead of a little bit flatter.
So what are you looking at, Gabe, when you're doing that? Just the TV copy of it?
We had the TV copy. So it was just
That's
like...
That's got to be hard,
do you just get it
because
direct?
You miss so much.
Yeah, we get the direct. I mean, there were only a couple of times where like a replay was being shown and we missed a shot on one end, so you just kind of
not to be
tap dance around
not
it.
to inflate our guy's ego. It's also there's a talent with it because if you remember during COVID when they first started doing it, it was pretty sloppy for those people who were remote. Like, you could tell they weren't there because they were missing things and not seeing things. And, like, you kind of just got to coach yourself. Do we want to listen at all to some of the Ben Brust AI questions he asked?
I want to hear this.
In which city would you find the Colosseum? In which city would you find the Colosseum?
So that they were asking in which city would you find the Coliseum, and he was struggling to get it to pronounce it. Now, other of them just sound exactly like Ben
But they
Brust.
sound just like
That's scary.
What U.S. state is known as the Beehive State?
So, like, there's, like, weird little things you can catch in it.
Yeah.
But it's
in
still
Greek mythology, who
his
turned
voice.
everything he touched into gold? What is the longest-running Broadway show of all time?
I mean, and honestly...
Which U.S. state has the most lakes?
The AI not being able to pronounce a word, I feel like tracks for Ben.
Well, and that's something else that Ron and the Key weighed in on. He was talking about how... I'm just looking for it. We are underestimating just how patterned human speech is. Chewy is going to say the words, am I right, at least 10 more times today. Now, his point is like, you can pick up speech patterns from people, and I'm not saying that that is Ben's speech pattern, but you put enough input in, and the more input you put in, the more accurate it's going to be. I don't know how much input Alex Strofe gave AI of Ben Brust's voice, but that is dang close. That is eerily similar.
Yeah.
Is it not, Chewy? If I had played that for you, would you have known it was AI?
Just because it seems a little fast.
Sure.
Doesn't it seem a little faster than normal?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Joshy, play a couple more. What else you got?
What ancient civilization built the Machu Picchu?
Okay, that's how Ben would pronounce Machu Picchu, to be honest.
But it's just like
in which city would you find the Colosseum?
Colosseum is wild to me because Alex Strofe also said on the show yesterday he had to input it phonetically, and it still came up that way.
Who developed the theory of general relativity?
That was normal. Like
there's a guy like I believe he took like basically Ben recording some commercials and got his voice to replicate that. The replication part, I don't think is really any challenge because, I mean, that's exactly Ben Brust.
Are you smarter than Ben Brust in 3, 2, 1?
It's the natural conversational effect, and the thing is, and why I mentioned AI slop is they're going to be able to do it. They already can. They definitely can make some representation of what's happening. It's just, are you going to be discerning enough or care enough to be like, yeah, it's John Madden's voice, but it kind of sucks.
Well, I will tell you this then, as we continue to talk about kind of voices being used as AI, they are already using this technology to scam the hell out of people.
Oh, yeah.
They are using your voice. They are making fake calls. They are calling your relatives and saying, "Hey, Grandma, it's Jen. Could you send me $500? My car broke down on the side of the road, and I don't have any debit card." Like whatever it is, right? That story fell apart very quickly.
I believe that story is like, you pulled an exact one, though. Like, that happened. Like, I'm pretty sure I remember reading of an exact story where, hey, I need help, Grandma. And, you know, a 90-year-old grandma who's on a cell phone, it's easier to then translate that as to, like, yeah, it sounds weird, but she's in distress.
Is AI good enough, though, to change the story for Jen? Not the car broke down, but she ran out of gas.
Oh, now we're getting interesting.
I mean, to be honest with you, there is enough evidence
That's
of
what I'm
that.
saying.
I've told that story enough times publicly that AI probably knows that if Jen had car trouble, it's because she ran out of gas. Like, I'm not proud of this. I'm not proud of the fact that AI would have enough evidence to do that.
But you're not ashamed enough either, if we're being completely honest.
It's also true. It's also true.
Because it hasn't stopped happening.
We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Perfect time to take a break as they turn the spotlight on me. Got to do a read before we take a break, guys. And live listening, show replays, exclusive content. It is all on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The Wisconsin sports fans' best way to stay in touch with their favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows and keep up with their favorite teams. Find the new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores right now.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Truck drivers, are you tired of an outdated truck hurting your paychecks? At Schneider, we add new trucks to our fleet every year to keep drivers moving and racking up the miles. Our easy-to-use technology is designed to keep you safe and comfortable while also boosting your income potential. So, are you ready to get behind the wheel of a more reliable ride? Find jobs near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Hey, Chris Candy here. My mom goes out of her way to make me happy, so this year I'm returning the favor with a bouquet from the Books Company. Their flowers are cut fresh from the best farms, so they grow bigger, brighter, and last way longer. It's easy. Pick your bouquet, delivery date, and done. Mother's Day is May 11th, so order your Books now. Go to Books.com. Use promo code CANTY for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code CANTY. Books, promo code CANTY.
Summer is better with True Green, especially at a price this low. For a limited time, get 75% off of your first treatment and enjoy your lawn without overspending. With True Green, you get expert care and a plan tailored to fit your lawn's needs. So it looks like the best while you save big. Let the pros handle the hard work while you enjoy the result. Relax more and keep more money in your pocket. A great lawn has never been this easy or this affordable. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com. Restrictions apply. Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
Summer is better with True Green, especially at a price this low. For a limited time, get 75% off of your first treatment and enjoy your lawn without overspending. With True Green, you get expert care and a plan tailored to fit your lawn's needs, so it looks like the best while you save big. Let the pros handle the hard work while you enjoy the result. Relax more and keep more money in your pocket. A great lawn has never been this easy or this affordable. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com. Restrictions apply.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If it's gotten to the
I
point,
don't think shower.
what do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to take a shower? You just told me you're offended by your own BO.
No, but I think it's deodorant, Gabe. Showering does nothing. It really doesn't.
You are wrong.
Because
you must be showering wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I love being a storyteller for ESPN. What I don't love are some of the stories I've had to tell on ESPN. A lot of them about suicide and people who are struggling with their mental health. It's a big reason why I have partnered with BetterHelp. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we're trying to encourage everyone to take care of their well-being and break the stigma surrounding getting help for your mental health. The world is better when people are healthy and happy. Mental health awareness is growing, but guys, there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. Let's stop that. Speak to personal experience and talk about how there are people in all of our lives who have dealt with struggles, challenges, insecurities, whatever it may be. The folks over at BetterHelp want you to know that there is help around every single corner. BetterHelp.com/timeout will get you 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com/timeout gets you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. And guys, it means that BetterHelp is just at your fingertips. You call and you talk to therapists who are experienced in all of these things that people deal with. It is fully online, it is affordable, it is convenient, and it is currently serving more than 5 million people worldwide. You can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if the person you are speaking to isn't working for you. It's BetterHelp.com/timeout. 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. Lots of stuff to still get to in the second hour of the show. We'll take a break. Be right back after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Trouble on 43 northbound, right about at the end of the Febrance on-ramp. We've got a semi that is broken down and it's partially blocking the right lane. So you do want to be extra careful. It's going to be a slow ride on northbound 43, period. Coming up pretty much from the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve all the way through the Marquette up to Keefe and then right past that broken down semi. On the southbound side, we've got backups from before Bender Road all the way down past Burleigh. And then we've also got delays westbound 894 out of the Mitchell interchange past Loomis, eastbound slow from the Hale to Loomis. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, cooler, a high of 54 at the lake, 65 inland. Then tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 42. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Island Resort and Casino's stay and play golf packages for 2025 are filling up fast. Take advantage of early season package rates through May 23rd. A favorite among golfers, Islands Drift Spa. Enjoy therapeutic or targeted massage, float therapy for deep relaxation, or new red light therapy to enhance muscle recovery. Book your Island Resort and Casino stay and play golf package today. Complete details online at islandresortgolf.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I would say James Earl Jones because he's more grandfathery. Every role he kind of played, he was.
Yeah, Darth Vader was super grandfathery.
Yeah, very loving.
La, 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 Luke. Luke, I am your father.
Those Star Wars #1 are horrible. You got to go to the originals. No.
Yeah,
No.
that's what we're talking about. Yeah. The original 3.
It was good when he didn't even know who Darth Vader was.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
The best one was Empire Strikes Back, the original.
Yeah, you know who's in that?
Who?
James Earl Jones.
Where?
Dip bleep. He is the voice of Darth Vader.
Are you sure? I didn't know that.
Look, your father wants you to check out the delay problems we're having at the loading dock. Now, I know you'd love to just sit there and keep being not slim, but we got to work a little today, okay?
That was from Star Wars.
I know.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but.
You have likely seen the breaking news this morning, NFL related, that the Steelers are trading George Pickens to the Cowboys. I'm trying to read the compensation package.
So it was basically for a 3rd-round pick, and then they swapped 5th and 6th.
Yeah, swap a 6th for a 5th, but he is a 3rd round in the 2026 NFL draft. I remember distinctly that we had people on the Carbless Talk and text line who wanted George Pickens back in the day when the Packers were obviously still trying to bolster their receiving core, receiving room. And, you know, at the time, the report on Pickens was a bit of a malcontent, bit of a, you know, tough cookie to be around. And you heard the same things with the Steelers. So, Gabe, one, why are the Steelers moving on from a 2nd round? He was a 2nd round pick. Mm-hmm. And by all accounts, the numbers, still very talented.
The numbers were okay. They weren't standoff like, oh, this guy's the best receiver in the league type numbers. Still very good.
Right, but who's been throwing him the ball?
I mean, I think that factors in. That's certainly part of it. But if he's going to be a malcontent, that's not somebody they're going to want to ultimately pay. Like, that doesn't fit into what the Steelers' culture is, I think, long term. So they're getting out ahead of this. They're trading him now, getting compensation in return. And really, it kind of seems like to me they're okay with trading him now versus doing it before the draft and getting draft compensation this year. Because by all accounts, next year looks like a pretty good year for quarterbacks. As of right now, again, that could change between now and next spring. But if they're loading up, and they are loaded, they've got three or four 3rd-round picks. They've got a couple of 4th-round picks, handful of 5th-round picks that they're loading up, and you know maybe they can move around to potentially go get a young quarterback in the draft next year. So this isn't somebody that they're going to want to pay. I'm guessing he's going to want more money than he's actually worth. So they've got DK Metcalf to replace him in their offense, and they're going to move on from there.
Move makes sense to you, Chew?
I think it tells us more about Aaron Rodgers than it does the move, because why wasn't this done a week ago? And I see your point, Gabe, about next year's probably a little better quarterback class, but they may be dumping players because they know Rodgers is not coming, or they may feel that he may retire, and trading for Kirk Cousins just doesn't feel like something Pittsburgh would do. So they want to dump cash, dump a problem before they have to pay him, and start maybe a rebuild.
Chewy, but I don't think this is somebody that would have gotten along with Aaron Rodgers. So I guess I don't look at it that way. Like, this is a dude who's not a crisp route runner, doesn't necessarily he's not exactly where he needs to be at all times, which is something that Rodgers wants of his receivers, and he demands the football a ton. Like, that doesn't seem like if Rodgers were to show up in Pittsburgh that these two would jive, and that would create, again, while you enjoy the drama, I don't know how much the Steelers would enjoy that drama.
Yeah, but does Rodgers really want to go and have another 5-12 or 5-13 type season? He probably would rather retire, and at least Pickens kind of gives him a shot. I mean, because most elite teams have two good receivers. And
sure, but
I don't know what this leaves Pittsburgh with now.
This roster was still good enough to make the playoffs a year ago.
Yeah, but Gabe, I don't think trading for Pickens sweetens the pot for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he says, "Oh yeah, let's lose a number 1 and go with a number 4 receiver as the number 2 receiver in
Pickens,
Pittsburgh."
I mean, Pickens is a 2 at best.
Well, let me ask you this, because I want to keep moving this forward. So George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, where does that rank in the duos in the NFC?
I think it's pretty good because they're not similar type players. Where
Sure.
I think Metcalf and Pickens are very similar.
Sure?
You know, like Gabe said, they're not great route runners. They're just big, bruising type, throw it up and let him go get it. Now they have a scatty guy in Lamb and a bigger receiver in Pickens. So
still not the best in their division.
So where do you think it ranks? Like, who's the top wide receiver duo in the NFC?
In the NFC, I would say Eagles are 1. I would say Detroit is 2. I mean, Cowboys, again, depends upon how happy Pickens is.
Were we putting Rams with Devontae?
Oh,
and
crap.
Puka?
That's right.
And what about the Vikings? Did you?
What about hold on? What about Tampa Bay, man? And they picked up Ibuka, so they might have the best 3. And they love Ibuka down here.
A lot of that depends upon how healthy Chris Godwin is, because his ankle injury was pretty tough.
But I think his point is you got Evans, and now you got Ibuka.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would still have Tampa. Okay, I think I'm going Philly, Detroit, Rams.
Minnesota?
Probably Minnesota next, just because Justin Jefferson's that good. I would say the Cowboys are 5.
With
Packers
Pickens.
are what?
So, but Pickens elevates them to 5, right?
Yes.
Hold on. Let's not sleep on Washington. They picked up Debo.
Washed.
All right. Where do you put the Packers?
Okay, so that's
You're
doing a great job. This is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to bop, and bounce our way to Green Bay.
He's picking up the breadcrumbs,
Yes,
Jen.
exactly.
We got a professional. He's following along.
I'm AI. Call me Liquid AI.
I don't know.
Even me. I mean, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do it.
Is it like liquid metal, like the T1000? I'm trying to follow the bouncing ball here.
All right, we just
I had a
T1000.
I had a friend of a friend called Liquid Johnny, and I think that's just an absolute great nickname.
It's
so
not.
Liquid Johnny.
You
don't think so?
No, it's not. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So Packers is not there. I mean, again, we'll see how Matthew Golden does. And I know what you're doing is you're projecting Ibuka for Tampa Bay, so you want to project Golden. But who's the 2?
I mean, it's Reed. It's Jaden. He's been their leading receiver the last 2 years, and I know he kind of faded. But if Matthew Golden can be as good as we think he can be, I think everything, and it's going to be tough because year one, and maybe he just does. Maybe he comes out, maybe he has a Justin Jefferson type season. But if he can eventually develop into that number 1, everything else just kind of falls into place behind it. Where, okay, you've got this number 1. Now we know how we can use Jaden Reed and when he's out there on the field, and Christian Watson when he's healthy. Everything else just kind of falls in line because they don't have that number 1. So each week it's like, well, okay, they're going to run this kind of defense, so Dobbs is going to be our number 1 this week. Oh, this is a team that plays a lot of zone. We can really make sure we get Jaden Reed involved this week. Instead of having, hey, this is our 1, this is our 2, this is our 3, and having everything kind of fall in line behind that.
So where do you put them? So you have in front of them, you got Dallas, Philly, you got Detroit, you got Minnesota, you have Tampa Bay, And you have the Rams. So where do they fit after that?
Is it?
This is just NFC, right? We're just doing NFC.
Just NFC, correct.
It feels like we would be giving a grade where we're just kind of stabbing it. Like Matthew Golden, as we all hope would be the number one. Like we can't even. If he has 90 catches, then I probably rank him pretty high. If he has 47, it's like, yeah, well, he's a young guy. It's hard to pick.
Yeah. Again, if I'm not, as much as I would like to project, I would probably have them still chew last in the division because it's tough to project what Matthew Golden is going to be. Because DJ Moore and Rome Odunze are a better combo than what the Packers currently have.
They have Luther Burden, too.
Yeah. And then they go and get Luther Burden. So they could climb up that ranking if Matthew Golden's really good.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time saying, oh, yeah, they're going to be able to catch this team or that team until we get to actual games to see what Matthew Golden's able to do.
And the other one I'm seeing here, and this is not to be a contender for the top 5, but Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton for the New York Giants. Now, is that better than what the Packers have?
I mean,
Malik Neighbors is better than anything the Packers have.
Darius Slayton is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is all dependent. You know what? I want to see where they play Golden.
Here's
is he going to play X or is he going to play Z?
I think it's going to change throughout the course of the season. I think they want him as their X. I don't know if he's going to start there. Who are the Packers better than in the NFC? Can we definitively say their wide receiver core is better than?
New Orleans, Carolina.
New Orleans has Chris Olave. Rashid
he's
Shaheed
nice.
was pretty fine.
I mean, Arizona's got...
pretty fine. That's a fun one.
Harrison
I was going to say pretty
Jr.
good, but then that felt like too much of a compliment. He made some big plays.
Elevated casual is what we have there.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, what does Seattle have left?
After getting rid of DK, I don't know.
No.
Again, Jack Smith and Smith and Jugba is really good. If we're doing duos,
I believe they drafted a young guy, so they sort of have an incomplete there.
San Fran.
So you were saying, Joshy, that there was a thought that maybe the Steelers, as they try, because again, we are saying, like, look, everybody in the league seems to be trying to get that high-level duo for pass catchers. Steelers just shipped one off. What will they do?
Yeah, this comes from our friend Justice Mosqueda from the Acme Packing Company. He put out basically that Romeo Doubs would be a perfect target for a team like the Steelers to go add somebody. It's an expiring contract. You don't really have to invest much in him. He's definitely not going to command as much money, even if you get into contract talks as a George Pickens. So basically, it's just saying with where they are and acquiring a veteran QB, be it Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers, a guy like Romeo Doubs with experience in the league, who you would imagine would be able to come up to speed quicker than a rookie, it would make sense to just take a flyer on him, on someone like Romeo Doubs. And, it would make sense with the Aaron. I don't know how long they get along.
Yeah.
But they at least have familiarity, and it's mutually beneficial for both, because they're both mercenaries in this case. In the case that he gets traded to the Steelers, they both are looking, Aaron Rodgers is looking to get better, but Romeo Doubs is looking for a contract, so it behooves him to play really well.
Yeah, if Watson was healthy, I don't think you can do it if Watson's not going to play till
Mecole
November.
Hardman, bro.
You stop it right
Really?
now.
Deep
Really?
threat. Vertical, baby.
Well, I
deep threat, not to be confused with deep thought.
Deep thoughts.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Still a little sad today. The deep thoughts no longer in our fine city. But I think it would be hard to trade Romeo until you have a better idea. Like, that's it's a pretty big gamble that you're really confident that Matthew Golden is going to be able to get up to speed and be really good after, 3 rookie minicamp practices?
Yeah, but you feel pretty good about Bo Melton in a come out and just be able to do what you need him to do situation. Like, the Packers have enough wide receivers. They would just not be as strong 1 through 5 without a Romeo Doubs.
Bo Melton versus Jacksonville. Yeah, I agree. Bo Melton versus Philadelphia. No, I don't agree.
Yeah, and I think you just kind of pick and choose, though, because is the draft compensation going to be worth it, or is it going to be worth it to just let Romeo Doubs walk?
But what's interesting about that situation is I think you also have to evaluate how Romeo is feeling mentally about the whole thing. After he wasn't happy with his role in the offense through how many ever games last year when he was, one of the guys playing the most, getting the most targets, and he was still upset with his role, so he ended up skipping practice and not showing up to work and being suspended for a game. How is he going to feel about somebody who was drafted specifically to eventually take his job?
I think he's got a better path to targets in Pittsburgh. He's got to compete with Calvin Austin.
He's a concussion away from sitting out the whole season.
Thank you. I think that's really important that when we talk about Romeo Doubs, you have to just keep considering the injury outlook. You can't ignore that might be hanging over his head.
Which, again, so you're getting. They've got a handful of 6th-round picks. Maybe you get a, conditional 6th for Romeo Doubs. Like you would trade him just to basically clear the path and clear the way for Matthew Golden.
Yes.
Would you do it?
Not for a 6.
Joshy's back there nodding.
No. Yeah. Wow, 6? What's a 6 going to get you? A tight end that...
tight end that went to Hooters after?
Exactly. Thank
Starter
you.
at left tackle.
I could have played left tackle.
I think the Packers run the risk of, if Romeo Doubs is there, as being a malcontent, and not the George Pickens style where it's loud and boisterous, but not competing, affecting the people around him in the wide receiver room. Like, we all know the Romeo Doubs experience is done after his contract's done. Like, that's written pretty much in ink at this point. So why not
try to get something for him?
Yeah. Why not just get some compensation? You feel fine with Golden, Savion Williams. Add that to Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson's coming back. You got Bull Melton. Like, it's not the strongest of stable, but it's a stable. They're deep there.
It's like totally fine.
Okay, well, all right. Let's not confuse. Hey, we've got a lot of bodies for we have depth.
Right, because that, to be honest with you, is what the Packers have been doing.
Yes.
By saying, look at all this depth we have. Oh, we're going to rewrite.
So
we're going to reinvent the wheel.
I'm on the right path.
Totally
feels
fine. This episode better be called Totally Fine.
Yeah. Kind of feels like
pretty fine.
Gabe's,
pretty fine.
Gabe, it kind of feels like your line takes sex out of the marriage. That kind of what it felt like a little bit, Joshy.
He's pretty fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think Romeo Doubs really elevates the floor for this. Like, how far down do you go without a Romeo Doubs? I don't know. I don't think it's considerable at all.
I think the challenge I'm facing is after Jaden Reed and with Christian Watson being out, he is, by default, your next best option. I'm taking Matthew Golden out of the mix because I assume that he is the number one. But hey, maybe you start getting major production from Tucker Kraft like we all are hoping we will see as he continues to evolve as a player and a playmaker. Then maybe you are less reliant on Romeo Doubs.
Well, not just Tucker Kraft, but also Luke Musgrave. If they're going to be going more 2 tight end sets, maybe having that type of depth isn't as important.
But real quick, where do you put him as far as tight ends in the NFC? I mean, Kittle,
I got to pull up a list.
Kittle, no. I still think the guy from Atlanta's really good. Just needs a quarterback. Hawkinson,
Who's
Laporta.
That Pitts? Is that Pitts?
Pitts.
He loves Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, Laporta. Hawkinson.
And don't forget, again, I'm not going to project these guys to be better than the established players, but Tyler Warren from Penn State is now in the NFC, right?
Isn't he?
Colston Loveland. Oh, did he go to the Colts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Colston Loveland.
The other one
Loveland was the other guy, the Michigan
with the
kid,
Bears.
and he went to the Bears.
Yeah.
I have a hard time figuring out how I should rank anybody below George Kittle. George Kittle I know is the best.
Yes.
And you can give a hat tip, a slight tier to Laporta just based on production, even though it's pretty close to Tucker Kraft's the past season.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably would go, like, he's like in that mix for 3rd or 4th, and it's probably personal
Hawkinson?
preference. Yeah.
And then Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
I'm just looking.
Is there
honestly,
anyone we're missing?
I'm literally just looking at Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football Rankings 2025.
Well, the kid from Arizona lit it up last year.
Oh, Trey
and
McBride.
got
He's
paid.
definitely better.
Yeah,
He's the
Trey
second.
McBride.
Yeah, he's
Oh, Trey McBride is on there. You're right.
Yeah.
He's the second one behind Brock Bowers on this list. But again, we were talking NFC versus AFC.
Yeah, so he's the second best behind George Kittle, and then it's kind of just a mishmash of those other guys.
Leave it to the resident tight end to be like, y'all are forgetting about a tight end out in Arizona. That's like Chewy's wheelhouse.
I tried to forget Trey McBride because he cost me a lot of money betting on him to score touchdowns.
Oh.
Because you were stupid, you're blaming him.
No, I'm blaming actually Kyler Murray. He can't see over the line. He missed him many times.
You want to know where Kyle Pitts ranks on this list?
Oh, he's got to be way down there.
I want Chewy to try to guess.
Which list is this?
I've got this is all of the tight ends projection for the 2025 fantasy football season.
Well, much like Joshy, it's because of the quarterback. It's actually not because of him. So I would say 13.
22.
Oh, 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
He's number 20 on this list, Yahoo Sports.
Yeah, he had less than 500 yards last year.
Really?
After having the 1,000-yard season as a rookie, his production has dramatically fallen off.
His coaches all very much dislike him.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't think he does tight end things.
Like blocking.
Yeah.
Being where you need to be, that type of thing.
Excuse me, he did have 602 yards last year.
Hey, look at that.
All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to as the show rolls on. We'll be right back.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. It's where our friends at Mentality come in. I have been using Mentality for a number of years now, and I have not felt better because of their low testosterone treatments. I didn't even realize I was dealing with low testosterone. Had recently made the switch to the morning show versus doing the afternoon show. Tired, groggy. Just thought, okay, getting a little bit older, waking up earlier. That's just part of the process. But it doesn't have to be like that. Mentality can take those symptoms, and if they're low testosterone, they can help you just like they helped me. So it's easy. Just go to the website, lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment, and it's a customizable treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments at lowtusa.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43 still has this issue right about at the end of the Febrance on-ramp. It is a semi that is stuck, disabled right about in the right lane, just before you get to the actual off-ramp or on-ramp. So just be extra careful if you're heading through that area. It is going to be a bit tight. We've got delays coming up from the Marquette all the way to that scene. The southbound side is going to be backed up from about Silver Spring all the way to Burleigh. Northbound 4394 backed up right around the Plainfield curve all the way up to the base of the high-rise bridge. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockeronthelake.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, cooler, a high of 54 at the lake, 65 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy with a low of 42. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Summer's getting closer, and Brewers action at American Family Field is only heating up. Don't miss a Midwestern throwdown between the Brewers and the Twins, May 16th through the 18th. Get a Jedi Jackson Churio Star Wars Night bauble with a special theme night ticket on the 16th. Then get here early for an exclusive Brewers cribbage board giveaway for the first 25,000 fans on the 17th. Presented by 620 WTMJ. Get tickets at brewers.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Unreal treasures this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Any of those things because it exceeds. It's like. I'm sorry, I'm burping up my apple right there. That's what that was. I wasn't pausing for effect. I literally was burping
All right, can we just go to break?
No. On 94.5 ESPN.
John weighing in on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always stream the show on YouTube. Just go to ESPN Milwaukee and watch all of our shenanigans on YouTube. John says, what makes a tight end great is how much they get incorporated into what a team offense does with them. Do they become a core part of the offense? And he also said, Tucker Kraft is just an above-average tight end. We've been so used to poor tight end play that fans and talk show hosts are now overrating him.
Well, so I think that's hard to do. So Pete Doherty had a piece in the Journal-Sentinel this morning that I was reading, kind of three post-draft takeaways, and his last one was Tucker Kraft drawing notice. In the lead-up to the draft, I asked a high-ranking scout in the NFL to name the Packers' two best players on offense. He said Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. It's a sign that the NFL has taken notice of Kraft's ability to run after the catch as well as the effort he puts into blocking.
Gabe, do I have to do it? Do I have to diagnose
I don't know.
Texter as a non-ball knower?
So usually when you diagnose, it's. The only time you diagnosed it's a chronic. It's a chronic case.
We don't have a fatal case of, but Chewy, there's more there for the Tucker Kraft, isn't there? Like, there's more production potential?
Oh, yeah, sure. I think it's more that he's balanced. Everyone loves Kelsey, but Kelsey isn't going to block an artery, And he's just, I don't even know if I'd call him a tight end. He's a big receiver that's about all he does. Tucker Kraft, Tucker Kraft should get credit for Josh Jacobs' season last year.
Sure.
As well as the offensive line. He's just a balanced tight end, which you don't see a lot of in today's game. And that's why I don't ever see him moving to a Kelsey type, just because it's not his game. The thing I would like to see, even though he had, a good number of catches, it's just I want to see that route that's Tucker Kraft over and over again, and I didn't see that.
But that's more on play calling, right?
Exactly. That's not on Tucker Kraft. That's more. And I think LaFleur figured it out because last year LaFleur thought this receiver group would take a big leap forward, and they didn't. So he was kind of stuck in the middle of the season going, God, I got to kind of pivot what I do here because these guys aren't getting any better. They're kind of stale.
But what's
and
great,
I don't think he was prepared to have Tucker Kraft be a bigger part of the offense.
Well, and what's great about Tucker Kraft, Chew, is a lot of times, like you mentioned with some of these other tight ends like Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs aren't a team that runs the ball a ton to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But like having Kraft on the field isn't to give away one way or another.
No.
Because he can do both. He can block and then he can get out and run and get the ball in his hands and run after the catch.
Yeah, and I think they probably expected that Musgrave would be farther along as well. And I can tell you this, a team that's going to go to more two tight end sets is Chicago. Drafting Loveland and having, who's their tight end there now from Notre Dame?
Cole Kmet.
That's two pretty good tight ends. So it's such an advantage when you have two tight ends that can play because it puts the onus on the defense. Are you going to go small or are you going to go big? So what me and Keith did. You go big, we're going to throw it. You go small, we're going to run it.
And honestly,
Very
that's
simple.
I kind of look at these guys similarly as you two, Chew, because with Tucker Kraft, that's more of the you guy, right? A little more blocking, but obviously you had your bread and butter plays and had all that. And Musgrave isn't as good of a blocker, still can from time to time, but he's more of the bigger, faster, like tight end option the way Keith was.
He's just got to polish his game a little more.
Oh, I mean, yes, because at that point with Keith, like he was at the end of a very productive NFL career.
Much like these receivers, like Devontae Wicks and Watson, and you guys think Dobbs is gone, and there's probably a pretty good chance. Musgrave might be gone, too. If he doesn't get better and show that he can be a piece of this offense, he may not be around.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's got 2 years left on the deal, so they'll keep him around for both.
This is his third?
Yeah. So he'll be around for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
When it relates to Tucker Kraft, and I watch a lot of NFL football, certainly not every. How many guys do you know that can take a pass at the tight end position across the entire defense, run for 60 yards, and score a touchdown? That's not above average. That's a guy with a lot of talent, and I think we're pointing in the right direction. Did the Packers have any bread and butter pass plays to anybody last season? When was the last time they even, you could think of it?
Devontae.
Right.
So, Tucker Kraft might be suffering from his circumstances more than he is from his talent or lack thereof, as some might believe. It seems like he's got everything to be not exactly.
But that's not always, Joshy, that's not always Tucker Kraft. That could be the quarterback.
Correct.
Because there's things a quarterback doesn't do well, where Tucker Kraft may do it well, and for whatever reason, Jordan just doesn't feel comfortable doing it. So it's got to be a marriage when it comes to routes.
Although I do feel like the Jaden Reed jet sweep became pretty predictable.
Kind of went away, though, yeah.
Well, because it became predictable.
Kept failing.
Well, they were other teams were snuffing it out.
I mean, but you've also talked about, Chew, when it comes to that year 2 to year 3 jump. And Tucker Kraft didn't play a ton his rookie year until the injury forced him to play. And then, we were all pleasantly surprised with how good he did in the second half of 2023 and continue to grow in 2024. That's why I think you can kind of sit here and go, all right, this guy's a year and a half, 2 years into his development. We like what we've seen. He's ready to kind of take off in year 3.
Well, and I think you trust your eyes, Chew. Obviously, you have the most experience in this space than all of us, but you can also trust the numbers. Kraft was one of only 2 tight ends in the league, George Kittle being the other one, to post 50-plus receptions, 700-plus receiving yards, 7-plus receiving touchdowns, and an average of 14-plus yards per catch in the regular season. He averaged 9.1 yards after the catch per reception.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's really good.
Well, and how many of those guys also can run the quarterback sneak the way Tucker does?
Good point. It's just, guys, they peak at different times. Like, I peaked at 26. That's when I was at my best. And play, that as a player. You're like, hey, you peak, and then you want to plateau as long as you can before you start going downhill, right? So it's all dependent on. Why are you laughing, Josh?
I've never thought about that before. You peak, and then you want to plateau as long as you can before you start going down.
Yes. Make sense?
Oh, it makes sense. Yeah. I just assumed that there was peak, and then up and peak, and up and peak. But no, I mean, your point is get to your peak, hold on to it as long as you can.
Also, I was laughing back here because your friend Ashton joined me back here. And I said, I like how Chewy answered my "is that good" with a yes response. Like it wasn't sarcasm. Only one of two tight ends in the league to do that. I ask, is that good? You said, yeah.
Well, and I didn't. And
Well,
to
you
be
don't want
honest,
to leave the question unanswered
Yeah,
in case there's somebody out there that's confused.
well, exactly. You never know how people are interpreting. Some people are half listening. Chew. That 9.1 yards after the catch was second best single season mark by an NFL tight end dating back to 2000 when Kittle had 9.9 yards after the catch in 2018. So again, Joshy, ask your question. It feels like he is better than and
Josh,
above average tight end.
You're not worried of the fact that I'm coming back on Friday?
No.
See, I don't have that power over Josh. Now, Will,
And
I can make
Ashton
him
a little bit.
Well,
yeah, I can make them both tinkle.
The last time that Chewy and Will interacted, Will got maybe a little big for his britches.
I know I can just laugh and smile and then it'll diffuse and you'll move on and be like, yeah, we're just a couple guys taking jabs.
Oh, really? Oh, we'll see.
You'll see Chewy's jab and how much you like it.
Nothing like what could I put neat in? Neat, is it neat, Jen? Where he'd lose his beard?
Do you have any idea how many times we have had this exact
Why do I call it neat?
I have no idea.
Is there a neat? I know alcohol with no ice is neat.
Conversation on
Nair.
this show.
See,
Ashton is back there going, I'm counting it on his fingers. He's like, at least 3 or 4.
So there is a neat hair remover lotion.
That's what I
oil
thought.
scent. Yes.
And Nair is nails, right?
There's neat and Veet. Which
Veet
and Nair.
What's nails?
Veet, neat, and Nair.
What's the shoe the polish you take your paint off with?
Acetone. Neat, Veet, Nair. Sounds like you're speaking German.
Nein.
We gotta take a break.
Yeah, we do.
Babelfish, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues right after this. Stick around.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, that earlier disabled vehicle at the end of the Febrance on-ramp that has been taken off the freeway. We just have delays coming up out of the Marquette all the way up towards Keefe. Southbound, backing up from Silver Spring down past Burleigh. And eastbound 94, give yourself time. It's going to be slow from before 84th Street all the way to about 35th. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, cooler with a high of 54 at the lake, 65 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 42. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Mother's Day is almost here, and I've been thinking a lot about all the times my mom went out of her way just to make me happy. Honestly, I've lost count. All of the pickups from practice, help with the homework, the home-cooked meals. My mom is the best. That's why this year I'm returning the favor with the bouquet from the Books Company. And I got you 25% off of your order so you can send some happiness to your moms, too. Books aren't just any flowers. Their flowers are cut fresh from the best farms, so they're bigger, brighter, and last way longer. Some are even grown on the side of a volcano. Wow mom with a bright, happy bouquet, or go for the Books Flower subscription so she can get fresh blooms and major joy on repeat. It's also really easy. I pick my bouquet, delivery date, and done. And with 25% off, why stop with mom? Grab some for your wife, your auntie, and even grandma too. Mother's Day is May 11th, so hurry and order your Books now. Go to Books.com, use promo code CANTY to get 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code CANTY. Books, promo code CANTY.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws, and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Have you seen them yet?
Seen what?
4 different ways to say I love you.
I'd love to see those. Show me the list. What list? The list of 4 different ways to say I love you.
Let's start over.
Where are you going, Monica? I'm going to get the 4 different ways to say I love you.
Sarah, imagine a box of assorted chocolates.
Okay.
When you open the lid, what do you see?
I see a guy sitting on a park bench saying, life is like a box of chocolates.
But what are the shapes of the chocolates?
There are 4 different shapes. Here they are. Those are gorgeous. 4 diamond pendants covered in diamonds.
Almost like they were dipped in diamonds.
And each diamond was created inside a miniature star. But you'd have to be rich to afford one of these.
Choose the diamond pendant you like best. $148.
I love Kesslers. Everyone loves Kesslers.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Care. You can just save yourself so much time by going, okay, we like this guy, this guy, this guy. Let's take a look at all the different things he did at the combine. I just hit my phone, and now my hand is just tingling.
What
is
with you
today?
Jesus. Do you know how to function?
I just like...
On 94.5 ESPN.
Conversation about the tight ends, the wide receivers, the pass catchers for your Green Bay Packers. And while we can sit here and nitpick about the star power that the Packers have on the roster right now, again, you just mentioned that somebody said that the top 2 players on the offense are Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. No mention of the quarterback. The Packers, according to an article from J.R. Radcliffe in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, have played the most primetime games over the past 10 years. 55 ahead of the Cowboys. Is that right? No, 55 games.
Yes.
The Cowboys have 53, the Chiefs have 49, and the Eagles have 48. When you hear that, Chew, what does that make you think the league's perception of Green Bay is?
It's elite franchise like the Yankees, Red Sox, Packers. Bears stink, so they're not going to get a lot of prime time. Dallas is a little surprising. I think just the fan base is so big that it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's a small town that really shouldn't have an NFL team that people just are drawn to, and it's a destination stadium. Which shows great on television. I just think small town America with an NFL franchise attracts a lot of viewers.
And the team's been good, right? Like
that's first and foremost.
Yeah, but even after Aaron Rodgers moved on and Jordan Love they still had a ton of primetime games.
Because there are questions around Jordan Love and, okay, can they showcase him? Because I remember, like, they're not putting bad teams on primetime this much. So first and foremost, the team is good. So there's a lot of Aaron Rodgers effect because for 8 years, Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers for this list. Because I remember, Chewy, when you guys first played on Monday Night Football in 1994, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that was the first time the Packers had played on Monday Night Football in forever. And I remember my parents explaining to me, because at that time I didn't know any difference, like how big of a deal that was. Because the Packers didn't play on Monday Night Football all that often. And that was the showcase game for the NFL for the longest time. So if you're bad, you're not going to be on primetime that much over a 10-year span.
Who did we play? I remember we played the Bears on Monday Night Football on Halloween, and it was the worst weather I ever played. And there was literally 8,000 people in Soldier Field.
Oh,
and that was a Monday night game.
It was just brutal. Just
it was coming down sideways. Yeah, it was
absolutely
really, really bad.
You guys played Kansas City on Monday Night Football in 1993.
But that was in Kansas City, and we lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hurt.
But that was the first time, like, you guys had played on Monday Night Football in forever.
So, Chew, we mentioned that they have had 55 primetime games. Any guesses as to what their record is in those games? Do you think Green Bay performs well?
How far back, Jen? You said 10 years?
Yes, it is a 10-year period.
Thank you.
10 years? I would say 37 in math.
I'll say 45 and 10.
No. 32 and 23.
Oh,
I was like, 58%. And what's interesting here is JR goes down to break down those numbers. At 58%, at a 58% winning percentage, they are way down the list. Baltimore has a 72% winning percentage in primetime games. Kansas City, 69. Buffalo, 63. Pittsburgh, 61. Philadelphia, 60. Detroit, 60. Dallas, 60. So that's 7 teams who have a better primetime record than the Green Bay Packers. What JR is trying to say in this is if you use this as a metric that they have that many primetime games, it leads him to believe, at least in this article, that they are the premier franchise in the NFL. But where it gets undermined is by that winning percentage, guys.
Yeah,
when you
but
only win 58% of them, I think that there's a question.
They don't care about winning percentage. They care about ratings, and my guess is ratings are probably close to the top, if not the top. Right?
You are nailing it, Chew. And that's the reason why the Cowboys are number 2 on that list. Because when the Cowboys play, America watches. When the Packers play, America watches. And as long as the Packers are a competitive team, they are going to be at the top of these lists.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it's going to be because the fan base is pretty big, especially when they've been as successful as they've been over the last 30 years.
Chewy, if you had to guess the bottom 3 franchises as far as primetime games over the last 10 years, what would you guess the bottom 3 are? They have had the fewest primetime games over the last 10 years.
I would say Jacksonville.
Correct. They have 12.
I would say Arizona.
Arizona is up higher on the list. They have had 25.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, 24. You're getting warmer.
Wow. That's
Cleveland.
Cleveland is correct. They have 21.
And one more.
Between 21 and 12. One team.
Carolina Panthers.
There it is, Joshy. And sometimes I look over to see if Joshy cheated, but he didn't. He was making eye contact with me the whole time.
I was just thinking...
El Stinko.
What have they had? Since they had Cam Newton.
Well, about this, and that was why I was kind of hesitant because they did go to a Super Bowl one time.
But it's been a long time.
I mean, that was that just fits in the decade, right? They did that in 2015.
Jacksonville with 12, Carolina with 18, Cleveland with 21 round out the bottom of the list. We already told you what the top is. Green Bay 55, Dallas 53, Kansas City 49. And I imagine those Kansas City games have been within the last 4 years primarily, right?
No. Mahomes has been quarterback longer than you think.
How long has he been the QB of the team?
Took over with Brady was still playing for the Patriots.
Yes, that's true.
They were also successful with Alex Smith. Remember, it was I can't believe they're doing this.
Oh, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, they traded him and just gave the reins over. So they were pretty good before that. How do we feel that team success isn't really the only factor here? That there's some sort of mystique, be it Lambeau Field, be it just the Packers. It's not totally merit-based that the Packers are.
Oh, correct.
Right.
Yeah. Because and Lambeau Field at night, you get to wax poetically about the history of the game. Yes.
Bring out Vince Lombardi stand-in.
Yeah, that certainly is a part of it.
What the hell is going on out there? I will say this also, and you guys talked about this a little bit when we were having our chit-chat about this. There is something that these networks like about being able to do the drone shots, and you're droning over neighborhoods, and you're droning over cars being parked in the front lawns of homes, and then bloop, all of a sudden, an NFL stadium, right? And all the lights and all. There is something very cinematic about that scene. And so I think that is part of why these networks are anytime we can get up to Lambeau Field, and obviously it's a big reason why the draft was there. The reason this comes out, of course, is because the NFL schedule is going to be released any day now, May 14th. And my goodness, kudos, bravo, whatever you want to say, begrudgingly, that the NFL has somehow made schedule release day a flippin' holiday on the league calendar. Like, that's just wild to me.
It's still a distant one, but it's still one that people take note of. They do special programming around. I mean, at this point,
we've done special programming around.
At this point, I think they could sell anything.
What do you think that Green Bay is going to do for the schedule release? And will you be underwhelmed as you have been in previous years?
It'll be safe. Try to be funny, not that funny. Nailed it. Signed, sealed, delivered.
It's like me on the show.
We could probably record a segment after the show and just play it back after the schedule release next Thursday. After the schedule comes out and the Packers social media video comes out, I think we could probably nail about 85% of what it's going to be.
Reaction to how they decided to roll it out. Yes, of course, we don't have the schedule in front of us. We have a lot of the games.
I'm just talking about, the reaction of, was this video good or not? I think Joshy just nailed it.
Which AFC? Who are they playing in the AFC?
The North, right?
Yes.
Because that's why we're playing the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. That's not good, Bob.
I'd rather play the South.
Yeah, the Browns are in there. That's right.
Yeah, the Browns, Bengals aren't actually that good.
They're good, Gabe. Stop it.
So good teams miss the playoffs now? Is that what we're doing?
No one wanted to play them. One wanted. If you watch TV at the end of the year, the Bengals needed a little help, and no one wanted to play the Bengals.
If this show was transplanted and put in Cincy, you would blast that team nonstop.
I blast everyone.
Fair. Point two.
Speaking of blast, we need to take a break.
That's exactly right. We've enjoyed having Professional Construction Inc. help us with our home projects. As you might know, my husband and I, not the most handy people. We can handle these tiny things like painting a mailbox, if you will. But for the big stuff, the important stuff, we always call our friends over at PCI. It's a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships and doing exceptional work on your projects. Like our siding when the woodpecker was drilling holes in it. Like our basement when we needed it to be completely redone because we have a teenager who needed space. Like our balcony that was leaking into our kitchen, they came out, took care of it for us, and I tell everyone, if you need any home improvements done, PCI are your people. Learn more about PCI and see their work at professionalconstructioninc.com. That's professionalconstructioninc.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
the service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton-based string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with two 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Come on, guys. Let's think about this. Could you do 50 straight days of burgers?
That was very condescending. I just
No,
want to be
no,
clear
that's
on
not.
the
Let's put our heads together.
Again, I have children. I know condescending when I hear it.
Come on,
on 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Looking for a home can be a lot of things. Stressful, time-consuming, and expensive, but looking for a home should actually be so exciting. The We Sell group at Keller Williams knows this. Their passion is people. And now that my family and I are looking for a lake house to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more, I have felt their passion during the process. They're knowledgeable about the area. They are approachable. And guys, unprecedented availability. If I find a house and I'm like, hey, I can't get up there, they are willing to go and see it for us. FaceTime us from the location. They will take care of all of those things for you as well. The home buying process should be fun and exciting, and Rob and Nick will help every step of the way. Make sure that you talk to my friends over at the We Sell group, wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com. What a fun day we had here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, huh? Chew, say hi to your friends at the gym for me. Actually,
I will.
Actually, they probably heard me say that, so you don't have to.
Are you going to talk to him? Are you going to go up and talk to the guy?
He's got to come to me because it's cardio day. I won't be floating. I'll be stationary on a bike.
All these rules.
I know. I'm an idiot.
I feel like that's a general rule for Chew anyway. You got to go up to him. He's not coming up to you and talking.
I can't wait for Chew to be back here in studio next week. Wildy and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.
Eastbound 94 got some backups from 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. Westbound's nice and clear, though. Northbound 43, a heavy ride from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Hampton down to Burleigh. Southbound 41, that's still heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol. With